Diary of Helen Kimball Whitney. In the year of our Lord 1896 to 1897. Wednesday. New Year's Day, myself and family met at Orson's by invitation. Christmas Day had a good time, though I was feeling sick. George got a hack to take his family home and sent it back to take Lily and me home. Ed and Jen came home on the car earlier, so not to keep little Florence out late, we had music and singing by Florence, Helen, and Orson after dinner, and recitations by Helen were very nice. Thursday, January 2nd. Fast day, was late to rise, but determined to go to meeting. Enjoyed it. Paid my tithing and donation day. Pleasant. Friday, 3D. Lily quite miserable from going too long without her medicine. Sent and ordered it. A farewell entertainment in honor of BPO.F. Whitney was held at the independent school. Has a notice being given out at fast meeting by Brother Patrick, who wanted the ward to turn out, which they did in a big force. A large gold watch and chain was presented Orson by Bro Patrick, and an address by the committee Bro John Nicholson and T.G. Weber, to the former presenting it. Orson spoke, giving an interesting sketch from his history from boyhood till he was made a bishop, etc. The singing and recitations in the program were fine. The presidency of the stake were present, and President Angus M. Cannon spoke beautifully of Orson's past faithfulness in the bishopric, etc. And when he said that Orson should not be freed from this office, the whole house applauded, expressing their deep regard and unwillingness for another to take his place. Henry and Florence were there. Saturday, 4th. Lovely day. Felt badly from lacking sleep before rising. The whistles, etc. proclaimed Utah's statehood. Jen went to town. Got me cough drops. Sunday, 5th. Bright day. Felt badly. Afternoon. Orson came to see us. Flodi and Henry spent part of the afternoon. Lily and I went to meeting at Eve. I felt better and was glad I went. Heard my brother Elias Kimball speak for the first time. Mon 6th. Guns firing, bells and whistles sounding through the city. Felt the best I had for over a week. Went with the girls, Ed and children, and stood on the sidewalk west side while the procession marched up Main Street. It was a splendid sight and enjoyed by the thousands gathered upon the sidewalks and in windows. The music was grand and the national airs inspiring to a true American, and the marching of the soldiers, etc., as well as the stars and stripes with the Utah star shining above all the former ones. This portion of Inauguration Day ended. We left for home. Helen and children were there and Lily went home with them, and I stopped at Orson's till after dark. Met Bro Donaldson and others there. He said he'd call and see me someday soon. He told me some encouraging things that I hope to hear more of. Orson expected to go to Logan tomorrow. Tuesday, 7th. Lovely day, but a sick one for me. Wednesday, 8th. Lovely overhead. Florence came to see us and Helen came afterwards. I felt badly, but glad to see them cough continually. Thursday, 9th. Still pleasant. Feel better. Finished a letter to Mr. W.M.H. Beard, the Cynic. Utah received today PR Master Saville, which I'd been waiting for to send Mr. Beard. Did up a big parcel of papers to send him last eve. Laura Pack called and we kept her all night. Jen and Ed went to a ball and Laura slept with the children. Friday, 10th. Slept well. Am improving on that score, but am sleepy nearly every day and tire out easily. Jen went to town to mail a letter and Cynic Utah to Mr. Beard for me and to do other chores. Saturday, 11th. Good night's sleep. Feel stronger except my eyes. They are awfully weak. Sister Stevenson called, told me how sick Lucy Kimball had been and still feeble, how much she wished to see me. Sister Stevenson expressed her regret at my having resigned my office in our society. Sunday, 12th. Too poorly to attend meeting. Flowed. I was here a while. Orson's Helen, Margaret and Byron were here. They go to Logan Tuesday. Orson lectures at the Tabernacle this eve. Came from Logan yesterday and goes back in the morning. Jen read a little to me. Mon 13th. Snowy weather and lonely not being able to do anything. Flowed. I hear from the dentist's to lunch. Tuesday, 14th. Some better. Cut out 2 pairs of garments near night. Jen took Florence to Helen's and spent afternoon. Ed was about laid up with pain in his side yesterday and got excused from going out last night. Is all right now, and he took Jen and Lee to the theater and goes on his beat at 11 o'clock. Wednesday, 15th. Very cloudy. Little snow. One of my poorly days. Sleepy, though I slept better than usual. Laura Rinder and 3 little boys visited us the day. Thursday, 16th. Weather gloomy, but we're having a January thaw. Wakeful last night, and head ache this morning, but nearly free from sleepiness today. Nearly made a garment for Lily. Friday 17th. Better today. Finished the garment. Flowed. I hear she's joined the Tabernacle Choir, as well as that of the 31st Ward. Saturday 18th. Miserable from sleepiness. All of us went by invitation over to Mrs. and Miss Pixley's to supper, and to spend the evening. Rain poured down when going, and for some time forgot. My Helen came up to see if anyone was sick, as she'd expected Lily. And her not coming, felt sure she or some of us were sick, but found us all ready to go out. Her children had colds. Sunday 19th. Had a call from Seoul, and Rachel Simmons, her sisters Henriette and Mary Clark came to see me. Felt badly from sleepiness, though better than yesterday. Jen read me a little from papers. Weather thawing. Mon 20th. Dark and threatening. Flowed. I came to stop a day or two. She went at eve to practice with Tabernacle Choir. Stormed quite hard. Tuesday 21st. Another dark day. Rained and hailed. Glad floaties with us. Neither of us slept for half the night, feeling it badly. Mrs. Adams called in, and at evening Hentai and Alice Calder came. Flowed. I sang a little for them. Wednesday 22nd. Flowed. I nor I slept till after 12. I was up earlier this morn. Felt a little better. Flowed. I left at 11 to do some trading. Goes to a ball with Bud and Mail this eve. She went to Walker and Filer's and purchased me a black dress and linings, etc., and sent it up. Jen went to engage a dressmaker on the hill. They want me to attend a banquet to be given at Hotel Templeton to celebrate the 75th anniversary of Sister Zena D. H. Young's birthday, January 31st. 1896. I received the card. Mon Mary Kelly came to see if I'd go with her mother to the theater this afternoon at the free entertainment for all old people, widows and orphans, etc. I felt too badly. I told her after taking a rest on the lounge. Felt much better. Bought a receipt of a man to clean and varnish furniture. Paid $1. This is a bright, beautiful day after a stormy night. Thin snow on the ground. Thursday 23d. Gloomy day. Felt slightly improved. We went to Helen's afternoon and Flowed. I came up. Commenced again to take celery compound. Received a beautiful letter from Mr. Beard. Friday 24th. Felt badly. The want of sleep. Saturday 25th. Another miserable day. Finished Lily's garment. Jenny's engaged a poor woman on the hill to take our washing away instead of having the steam in our house all day. Sunday 26th. Sick. Jen read to me a lovely sermon of George Q. Cannons, and other things. Sister Frances and daughter came and took supper, then went to their ward meeting. Mon 27th. Suffering from cold's head and sore lungs. Coughed awfully in the night, and today forgot the postal written Brother Beard and mailed last Saturday. Flowed. I up a short time, took my black brooch and earrings to get them fixed for me, and offered to call at Coop and have some shoes sent me to try on. They soon came. 4 pairs. None suited me but 1 pair, but the heels too high for me. Tuesday 28th. No better of my colds and sleeplessness. Wednesday 29th. Felt better, except another cold in my head. Flowed. I came with my jewelry. Went from here to Coop to tell the kind of shoes I wanted. Common sense heels at eve. Orson surprised us. Came to stop all night. We're delighted to have him here. He goes to Provo to lecture on Friday. Thursday 30th. Orson was gone when I arose. He and Bro Donaldson here afternoon about 10 minutes. Took the key to my front door to let him in tonight. Friday 31st. Orson here till after 1 o'clock. Enjoyed it much, and he read to us his lecture before leaving for Provo, which he was to deliver there at evening. Flowed. I came to do up my hair to go to Sister Zena's birthday anniversary at Hotel Templeton. Brought lovely roses to wear. Went with me. And getting out of the car, the roses were broken off. She would go and buy me more and fix it before she left. Met with many warm friends, and some of the long ago, who greeted me with warmest expressions of gladness to see me with them again. Was seated among the honorary, and by mistake was seated at the right hand of Sister Zena at the table. She, Q. Cannon, and 3 wives were at her left. Franklin D. Richards and daughter sat to my right. There were 4 tables, the number 1 in the center. All were given papers with the nose and their name, but I missed finding mine. At every plate was a card and likeness of Aunt Zena, with verse by E.B. Wells. I didn't feel as well as I hoped to, but took in all the pleasure I possibly could. 8. Saturday, February 1st. I felt some better. The death of Christine Kimball was in yesterday's Herald. Thankful that she's freed from her suffering. Came for his valise. Sunday 2nd. Late to rise made me late to the funeral of Christine. The remarks of President Angus Cannon and Brother Roberts were very excellent and comforting. I suffered from cold and gravel. The latter has affected me for 3 days past more or less. I was prostrated after I came home. Jen read to me and Lily till dusk, then she went to evening meeting. Mon 3D. Afflicted with gravel, used tea made of watermelon, felt relieved at evening. Tuesday 4th. Sleep upon me most of the day better after laying down. Flowed I here a while. Wednesday 5th. Stormy, dismal, dark most of today, but we've no cause for complaint, though I'm poorly. Thursday 6th. Fast day, felt sinking on rising, and sleepy all day, but the sun's shone, and I felt cheered. Flowed I here a while. Jen went to express office in answer to a notice by the morning's post, and got my Christmas present from Mr. Beard that's lain there since Christmas because of their neglect to notify me. Flowed I went to choir practice at eve. Friday 7th. Slept good, as is usual, afflicted again with gravel. Hent I came and spent a while. Saturday 8th. Jenny cleaned east rooms and all the rest, then ironed. Her health improving on celery compound. Reads History of Utah every evening to me. Sunday 9th. Had a call from Emma Piper. I had to lounge most of the day as usual. Jen read me some articles from the Evening and Morning Star, published at Independence, Jackson County, Missouri. Mon 10th. Sicker from want of sleep, unable to sit up. Tuesday 11th. Kept my bed till eve, trying in vain to sleep. Wednesday 12th. Slept enough to make me feel better, but deathly spells took me in the morning and lasted the day. My niece, Paralee, and her boy and girl came to see us. Hent I also, and then Flowed I came. While here I had so bad a spell. Flowed I left the room and burst into tears. She proposed my renting a house on 1st Street, above Dinwiddie's, so we'd be near each other. She is helping Sister D, who's in poor health, to do her work, having no girl, and couldn't come sooner to see us. Miss Johnson's here to make Jen and me dresses. Thursday 13th. Feel better, weather's lovely. Paralee came and left her girl to play with Florence. Flowed I spent a while and ate supper with us before going to choir practice at Tabernacle. Those bad spells are lighter and nearly left me, but the effects are upon me. Friday 14th. Awake half the night, late to rise. Felt worse than yesterday from a little work I did yesterday, and cold taken my cough worse in the night, and head's bad. Took quinine. Ed drew my remaining cash from D. Bank, and paid $9 to Drool and Franklin on my AC seat, and brought me $10.95. Saturday 15th. Enjoyed the best night's sleep without disturbance that I remember of. Went to Helen V's by invitation, Jen assisting me to walk. Day so lovely. Paralee was there, and she goes home in a few days. I became tired and sleepy after dinner and had to lay down. H.V. helped me home. Had to stop 4 times to take breath, being uphill, but it did me good to go out. Sunday 16th. Lovely day. Feel better in body than for a long time. Lily and I went to evening meeting. It was very good. Dr. Van inquired if I'd heard that Orson was sick, and several others inquired and told me at the close that they'd heard he was sick, one that he had typhoid fever. I had heard nothing of it before. Mon 17th. Sick from sleepiness. Miss Jonason's working at my dress commenced Saturday. M. Piper sent a letter written by Orson in reply to hers on Bucina's, telling that he'd been sick a week, that little Margaret had her leg broken while playing ball and Zine was worn out, etc. Feel grateful that he was better, though very weak, he said. Hardly able to write a few lines. Requested M to inform us to save his writing as he was not able. This was written on the 15th. Flowed I was at M's practicing singing with George for tomorrow evening, and she wrote a note telling me the reason she'd not been here, etc. LOL. And her Whitney 9 came afternoon and took dinner. Tuesday 18th. Another sick day from insomnia. Lovely weather. My niece Marion here to see me brought news from her father, who sent word he'd got some cough drops for me. At eve, Jen went with Miss Johnson to the Improvement Association of this ward. Wednesday 19th. Sicker, having taken cold. Flowed I here to have a basque fitted by Miss Johnson. Mrs. Godby was here with a little granddaughter. My Helen and 2 little boys also came and spent a while. Thursday 20th. Better of my cold, but sick for sleep. Have little to encourage me. Flowed I here, brought some silk and lace for my dress. Sister Robinson came to see me. Also Sister Horn, my next neighbor, point 10 Ludio and called. Friday and Saturday. Yesterday Float I was here. Miss Johnson here working at Floaty's Basque this 2 days, nothing but sickness to write of myself. Sunday 23D. Arose late, so sick with sleepiness to sit up long. Paralee and her boy called to bid us goodbye, goes home to Oregon this week. Jen and children went and took a walk. George Bourne called near night and visited me being alone. Mon 24th. Felt much better. Jenny went to meeting last evening. I went to Souls a sat a while with Caroline Soul, and Rob Patrick called the other eve. As teachers, we were glad to see them. A letter from Orson said he'd be down Friday. Tuesday 25th. Feel better, worked some on my silk basque, then went to our meeting held at Nephi Clayton, tired out for the day. Wednesday 26th. No sleepiness this 2 days, very grateful to the Lord to whom the praise is holy. Do feel my out yesterday somewhat cloudy. Thursday 27th. Rained last night. I worked more on my basque than I've done before. Am wonderfully better. Henry and Will Dinwiddie have returned from N.Y. Friday 28th. Had a horrid wind storm last night, and some snow. I was asleep through the worst of it. I judge, by Jen's tell, it did damage in some places, blowing off roofs and tearing up trees. I've worked today with more ease. Near night, as I was laying down, a doctor came, being sent by Sister Reeves, one of his patients. After talking a while, I was induced to let him operate, as it was only magnetism. And he said he'd charge nothing this time. Left me a package of herbs gathered from these mountains, and some testimonials, etc. from physicians in his native country, Germany. He is a Mormon. Floaty and Henry here in the evening. Both have severe colds. Orson, Emily and Helen Marr also came, accompanied by Arthur Stainer, but who soon left. The little girls went home with Floaty and Hen to sleep. Saturday 29th. Storm brewing, still feeling comfortable, and went by invitation to Belle Sears to a large party of E.B. Wells' friends to celebrate her birthday, which she's had only 7 of. And there'll be 8 years before she has another. We met at Dr. Ellis' ships. I got there just in time as they came to take the first car. A number of carloads followed, and one of them broke down. It was a very enjoyable evening. It was a picnic and a perfect surprise to Emmeline. This was proposed by Ellis' ship, as well as the publication of M's poems, and a contribution from the sisters to pay for it. $500 had been raised, and 100 more will do it. M had always desired this. Sister Horn and others thought Sister Ship inspired. Sister Horn proposed the closing of the meeting, it being 10 o'clock, and Sister Zena went and told her to let Sister Whitney speak. I had been feeling a desire to do so, and glad to be remembered, as I, having known M longer than anyone else, could say more of her early life. Emmeline rose after me and, among other things, said Helen had known more of her and her early days and sorrows than anyone now living. I was told by many how much better I was looking, and I told them that I was, etc. Sunday, March 1st. Snowing and blowing half the day. Comin' like a lion, goes out like a lamb, is the old sign. Awful news. Walt Dinwiddie shot fatally by Mr. Hinz, whose wife had given herself and affections to Walt, whose wild course was ended this morning by 3 shots from Hinz's revolver, who unexpectedly returned home and found Walt in his house, his wife in her nightgown at 10 o'clock, and Walt in a similar condition, who had hidden in a closet at the unexpected arrival. 13 Mon 2nd. Lee Dinwiddie called to tell us to come to Walt's funeral at 11 o'clock next day. Only relations are to be there. Poor Sister Dinwiddie. Tuesday 3D. Day clear but cold. Ed not able to attend the funeral. He and Jen went down there last evening. She and I went. George and Helen were there. She and I rode to the grave together. Jen had to come home. I failed seeing Walt. Sorry. Everyone said he looked beautiful with a smile on his countenance. I never saw such a profusion of rich, costly flowers, the coffin being loaded. A great number of carriages followed his remains to that peaceful place on the hill. Wednesday 4th, worse from a cold taken yesterday. Sleepiness, snowed all day. Thursday 5th, Jen went to fast meeting. Beautiful day. O sent my donation, and tithing was operated on by Dr. Rail with electric brush, etc. He joined this church in Haifa, Palestine. Margaret Clausen called at Eve. Friday and Saturday sicker than usual. Flowed. I came up Thursday, and Hentai sat with Genevieve. Rained at Eve. Dr. Rail called tried magnetism for my headache. Sunday 8th. Sick with sleep as usual, company here to dinner, and till 9 o'clock, making me feel worse. Dismal day, rain fell at evening, glad to retire. The quarterly conference held. No Sunday schools nor ward meetings. Mon 9th. More comfortable, though poorly enough, snowing when I awoke. Cleared up afternoon. Received a letter last Friday from cousin Nettie in answer to mine, enclosing $1 from me and the same from Jen. She prized it and thought she'd have to make it last her this summer. I hope we'll be able to surprise her. Sister James Simons came near night. Tuesday 10th. Felt still better day. Lovely Jane left afternoon. Jen read me a grand sermon yesterday, preached by G.Q. Cannon and other things. Ed is no longer on the police force. Pratt is likely to be put out. Wednesday 11th. Flodai sent a carriage for me to go to spend a day or two at Dinwiddie's, windy and cold, and I took cold, sleepy, and felt quite poorly and rather glutty, though Sister D puts on as much cheerfulness as she can. Thursday 12th. Sleep good but feel sleepy days. Slept in Walt's room, had headache and cough, which I got from exposure coming down here in the cold. Though sun out in all its glory. M. Piper called. I'm urged to stay. They are so very lonely. We sent for Hentai to come down. She and baby came. I told her and Flodai I wanted them to go up home tomorrow, Jen's 36th birthday. This morning I began having deathly spells and Flod I sent home for my medicine. They've been quite light today. Friday 13th. I came home in a carriage with Sister D, and Flo, so tired, went bed till after my girls came. Felt better. They gave tokens to Jenny, who prepared supper when we would liked her presence in the parlor, where we had singing and music from the grand old organ. And I felt that I would not be nearly so sick. I told them, could this be repeated oftener? Saturday 14th. Was surprised at Orson's coming. Bid young with him. They were invited to take dinner at, and soon left. Orson had slept at F. Clayton's and made me a little visit this eve, and went there again to stop, it being nearer to start home in the morn. I've been feeling better today. Am grateful. Sunday 15th. Pleasant weather, and the comets left the world without making any visible changes. All my household went to Helen's. I felt better to stay home and rest, feeling poorly. Lounged some time and got my lunch. Went to meeting at Eve, found Jenny there. Ed having brought children home. We enjoyed the speaking and singing. Brothers Cannon and Richards were the speakers. I felt lifted up in my spirits. Unusually, the singing was inspiring. Mon 16th. Ed raked the lawn and dooryards. Rained afternoon. I'm feeling rather better. Tuesday 17th. Quite cold, though clear. Ed has got a man to carry away the ashes and other dirt. There's a great improvement made thereby. Wednesday 18th. Fine day. Fixed my silk basque yesterday and today improving, though easily tired out. Jen, gone to town. Florence sent for her picture. Boy brought a note from her. Thursday 19th. Comfortable night's sleep. Flowed I up near night, cleaned my bowl, commode and glass in bathroom after resting from other chores, and walked round the yard. Day beautiful. Friday 20th. Jenny's ragby came off. She got quite a lot of ball sewed, prepared a good dinner. Lily and Hentai assisted latter, served the meat, etc. I felt more sleepy and poorly. Saturday 21st. Feeling some better. Jen cleaned the parlor and my room, etc., and dressed and took Florence and 3 other little girl to a party in the schoolhouse. The doctor came and operated on me and gave me olive oil, etc., for my cough. Sunday 22nd. Sick from insomnia, roused myself and went to chapel. Felt revived by the air and the meeting. WMH. King preached a splendid sermon, and Fred Clausen spoke a few minutes. Very good indeed. Mon 23D. Felt worse. Took a ride downtown, called at D. News office and bought a Book of Mormon for my Helen, a birthday gift. Left it for her name to be put on the cover in gilt letters. We went to Savage's and bought 2 birthday cards. One for Lily to give Helen tomorrow. The other was for M. Piper, her birthday being today. Went into Coop, told George we'd all be to his house next day. Quite used up when we got home. Jen got cup and saucer for Helen. Flowed I got her the same. Tuesday 24th. Still poorly. We all went to Helen's. She sent for Flowed. I had called to news office and got the Mormon book, which Helen appreciated, and the other things. The day was the warmest we've had. Wednesday 25th. I worked cleaning with the rake in the lane, etc. After a good rest, did a little sewing. Thursday 26th. Felt stronger. Did a little work at the lawn, feeling lame. Flowed. I came up afternoon. Storm brewing, slight sprinkle. Jenny feeling badly. Friday 27th. Stormed last night, and a little today. My heart's heavy with troublous thoughts of the present, and to come. Did a little sewing. Deathly spells took me near morning. They've been lighter. Saturday 28th. Dr. Rail called early to see how I was and leave oil for my cough. Goes away this morning. I'm afflicted with gravel painful. Lily goes to stop at Helen's tonight as she is going out. Sun trying to shine. Hailed a little bit. Sunday 29th. Had a call. May W. And boy. Afternoon. Jen, Ed, and children went to the Liberty Park. I felt tired out all day. Dressed some. We all but Lee went to evening meeting. Ed went. Were addressed by young Elder Wallace and David Mackenzie. Enjoyed it although I was so tired. Mon 30th. Surprised to see a heavy snow on the ground. Continued falling most of the day. Flowed. I here a little while. Wants me and her sisters down to visit her this week. I took cold last evening. Tuesday 31st. Very cold. I felt better. Tried to sew a little. Wednesday, April 1st. Sent for by. Flowed. I little Florence went in buggy with me about 11 o'clock. Girls came afternoon, and some of the children. I felt worse than usual, sleepiness and a cold. Sister Dinwiddie on a visit to her Edith's in Ogden. Thursday 2nd. I stayed at Dee's last night, and Flowed. I came up to fast meeting with me. Found Jenny there. My donation to the poor $1. Flowed. I sent 50 CTS by Flow to their ward meeting, and gave the same to this ward. I related part of a dream I had last night. After speaking a few words, I felt it to have been given by the Holy Spirit, it being a lesson I hope to profit by. I was shown how far I was from the mark laid down for the saints who expected to win a celestial glory, that though I thought I'd laid aside the hardness and unsaintly feelings, forgiving all those who'd wronged me, that my conscience might not sting me when taking of the sacraments, but I was shown the deep humility that I had got to bring myself to, that I could feel as gentle and tenderly towards all as I did towards those whom I'd loved as worthy of my best affections. Sister Kirby told me that it had hit her, and she should put it down in her book, etc. Aunt Zena and Sister Horn were pleased to see me, and John T. Kane also. He said he had feared I was not going to be with them long, but said I looked so much better now he thought I was going to live. That is what all seem to think. I'm feeling better than yesterday. Friday 3D. Pleased to see fair weather. I feel better except my cold. My eyes are bad. My head aches lighter than yesterday. Was surprised this morn by Harriet Kimball. She came only for a little while. She was assisted up here by Mary G. She thought I looked worse than when she last saw me over 2 years ago. Saturday 4th. My Floaty's 29th birthday. She spent the afternoon here. I went to Coop and got her a fancy plate and easel for $1.00. Was sick as death riding home. The jar of the car hurt me, my head, etc. And body having taken more cold, suffering much from sleepiness. Dr. Rail called, tried magnetism on me, left a package of his herbs. He gave us some ideas upon the scriptures where Jesus cast out the evil spirits, whom we read begged to enter into a herd of swine, and see as he had heard taught in Theosophy, or read it in the land of Palestine, giving it as an allegory instead of as we've read it. Point 19. Sunday 5th. Second day of conference. Good weather. Feel better than yesterday, bro. Charlie called on us just down from Friaco, where he's clerk at a store. They have to pay 5 CTS for every drink of water. I've been having a deathly spell for 3 nights. Last eve had 2 and today 3. They've been light. My head has been bad. Orson here at eve. Mon 6th. Head aches. Had more of those deathly spells. Doctor operated on me and gave me medicine for my cough. Had an awful shock at reading the conference minutes to learn of Brother Moses Thatcher's name being left out of the list of apostles, and feel to mourn over his fate if he does not quickly relent. I now have the interpretation of my dream, which I had told Orson this morn, as he called to say goodbye, but I could not interpret it. I dreamed what signified the state that some men have placed themselves in by running deep into politics and used by the evil one. Thankful that Orson withdrew from the claptrap as quick as he did, instead of stooping longer to contend and loosing the Holy Spirit. No man can serve 2 masters. Tuesday 7th. Head bad, no let up, take cold all the time. Wednesday 8th. Felt worse. Orson's racy called this morn. Helen and children came, and also Flo Di, who goes tomorrow to Logan Hen on Bucina's. Jen sprained her ankle this morn and suffered extreme pain at eve through to her hip. Used hot foot baths and witch hazel till relieved. Lily tired out, and things look gloomy to us. Thursday 9th. Windy and cloudy, and I so poorly sick all over. But very grateful that Jen is around at work. Unexpected by her or any of us near night, we were visited by Austin Brown and wife, Laura Pack, and two of her girls' first conference friends that have called on us. Friday 10th, Ed left this morn for Bingham. Jen feels sick from lack of sleep, and so do I. Felt desperate at having headache daily and sore throat, etc. Took quinine to see if my cold could be scattered. At least the wind has, at last, blown up a storm. Snowing this afternoon with rain. Saturday 11th, slept good, but feel sick as if I'd laid awake. My head is freed from pain. Tug snow fell last night, and today Jenny and Lily have to work though unable. Sunday 12th. Some better awake some time before morning. Gloomy as the weather. Jen had spell of sick headache this morn, but got better. I went to chapel. Enjoyed meeting bros. Morris and Phillips addressed us. Thankful I went. Mon 13th, stormed last night, and today wakeful 3 hours. Went to sleep in the morning and slept till 11. Jane Simons called feeling poorly, laid down before going farther. Teachers of Relief Society called flowed. I came and spent a while. Raining. I feel as though I'd had no sleep. Tuesday 14th, wind and heavy rain last night, and hail. Rain, thunder, and lightning this morn, and snowed all the afternoon. I laid and slept after the folks were up till nearly 11, and still sleepy though I'd slept all night. Ed went to Bingham to take charge of a mine. He and others leased it. Wednesday 15th, beautiful today till towards night. It clouded up on going to bed last night. A heavy sleep beat down from the north. Was later to sleep than usual, disturbed by coughing at various times, and slept but little. A sick day as usual. Sister Saville called this afternoon. Jen feels badly worked down. Thursday 16th, snowed last night, and today my feelings about like the weather, though not as bad as yesterday. Friday 17th, felt very poorly. Jen's trying to make her a new skirt. Wintry weather continues. Flowed I here afternoon in spite of storm. Saturday 18th, kept my bed most of the day. Felt better towards night. Jen took a check to the state bank and drew me 12.00 for sundries. A little snow fell today. Sunday 19th, feel free from the awful sleepiness. Thank the Lord, though I've had spells and stagnation of the blood. Last night had one on going to bed and numbers today, but very light. Zena Whitney visited us towards eve. Mon 20th, felt about like yesterday. We all went to my Helen's. Obliged to go to bed a while as usual. Flowed I came to get Helen to accompany her up here and found us there. The day beautiful. Tuesday 21st. Not so well. Ed came from Bingham. Dr. Rail here operated on me. Felt brighter after I paid him $6 one for olive oil for my cough. When his souls told me some good news. He had a letter from Brother Cummings that he'd visited the old town in Vermont where was settled by the ancestors of our father, and had got the records, and would be able to trace back, etc. Found that 2 brothers came over from England in the year and settled in Vermont. He had all the names down to Solomon Kimball. My grandfather. There'll soon be work enough to do in the temple, and I feel the spirit of it. Wednesday 22nd. About as yesterday. Sleepiness the cause. I dreamed the other night that the time for me and another woman was set to die. She died and was laid in a temporary coffin till a nicer one was prepared. I was to be laid in the same one, but as I looked at it about a rod or so from where I sat, it appeared too short for me. I was in company with a few men and women seated at one end of rather a long table. Soon a sensation like death came over me, and I sensed it, and arose upon my feet and told them that I wanted them to be sure that I was dead before they shut me into the coffin. Then I sat down, but there was no more of that feeling of death upon me. I had felt that hopeless for days, that I saw nothing but affliction for me in this life, and prayed for a patient, submissive spirit to bear my Alesh to the end. I take this dream as an omen of good for me. Sister Waring paid us a little visit this afternoon. Jen's getting on smartly with her new dress. Thursday 23d. Flowed I here this afternoon. Lovely day. I went to Souls near night. Ed returned to Bingham. Mrs. Pixley and daughter spent the evening here. Friday 24th. The old deathly sensations visited me occasionally yesterday, and one today. While lounging I did up some news, etc., to send Mr. Beard, and read more than for a long time past while sorting over the. Saturday 25th. Wrote nearly a sheet to Mary Bond. Most I've written for a great while. Overdone me, of course. But I've not felt so well for some time, though I have had a faint spell daily. Jen feels pretty well. Went to town and done work at home. Flowed I here in the afternoon. Sunday 26th. Felt free from sleepiness, but not very smart. Nobody came here till Eve. George Bourne came up. I had an awful spell at Eve, lasted much longer than as usual, like death had hold of me, wind blowing the dust and whistling, making it doleful. Mon 27th, rained last night, and today sun shone near night. After a little shower with hail, we had a new woman to wash. She did it here at home, and has agreed to clean our house next week. I've had the sickest day, overcome with sleepiness, but not able to sleep, that I've had for over a week. Tuesday 28th. Beautiful day, had sick headache till breaking it up by taking quinine and laying down, grateful for relief. My Florence had a dream lately that showed up my sufferings and trials. Finally she thought I'd died, but soon I came to, and my countenance was changed to that of health, better than she'd ever seen me. Wednesday 29th. Florence and Helen, little Horace and Jenny happened to meet up here this afternoon, and Frank Talbot's bride of 2 weeks arrived from Denver. Quite a surprise, as she was not expected till Monday. Jen went to see Dr. Doggy about Lily and herself. He said he had feared to hear of Lily, that she must not be without her medicine, feared she'd fall dead at any time. When telling him how much coffee she drank, he said she must stop it. Just what I'd been telling her was the cause of her being worse. Thinks she can't drop it altogether. Doctor said she could drink tea. This she's not drank for a long while, being sickened of it by reading of the Chinaman's filth. Thursday 30th. Feels sick. Snow fell last night, and today cleared off, though Frank Talbot's wife came up and Jen went to see if niece, Helen Violet, would take her to board. Brought word that she'd like her to come. She's a very agreeable, chatty person. Friday, May 31st. First sick day, roused myself and went to meet Florence at Moriza's to see about gravestones to be put to Charlie's and little Joseph's graves. She came with Will's wife and let me ride in her place over to the store, where I bought a Japanese rug that covers the most of my sitting room floor. Maud went home and I, with Flood's assistance, walked to Cone's store, and from there nearly to the coupe car came, and I took it for home, tired out and faint, but better for my out. Saturday, May 1st. Second, my best day for some time. Made new sleeves to my wrapper. Dr. Rail came and operated on me. Jen went to town and made some calls. Ed got home from mines. Surprised to meet Frank's wife. Orson came this evening, and May with him sat a while, said he'd be back to sleep. Sunday 2nd. 3rd. Orson went by invitation to take breakfast with Ike Clayton, and was to attend Sunday school. He's to preach in our chapel this eve. He called after noon, met, and was introduced to Frank's wife. I've not felt as well today, Lily, and I went to meeting, heard a glorious sermon delivered by Orson. House crowded. He said this evening was 4 months since he preached his farewell sermon. Mon 3d 4th. I coughed so in the night from going out and sitting in a breeze at meeting, and feel the loss of sleep badly. Orson left at 7 this morning for Logan. Tuesday 4th. 5th. Sitting room and sea was cleaned by Mrs. Lambourne. Stormy weather. Ed went back to Bingham. I visited at Soul's brother and sister McDonald, Golden K, and wife. And John Reese and wife were there. Was sick all day, but better in time to go after 6 o'clock. Spent a pleasant evening. Wednesday 5th. 6th. Feel badly, taken cold. My room finished and set in order. Jen feels sick. Also Lily. Thursday 6th. 7th. Went to fast meeting at the close. Went in to see sisters Powell and Staines. My parlor and porch is cleaned, weather wet and cold. Friday 7th. 8th. Stormy. Snowed this morn. Jen's room cleaned today. Helen came afternoon, and all her children. I felt worse all day from sleepiness and deathly spells, though they're light. Saturday 8th. 9th. Our house nearly finished cleaning, also whitewashed, though stormy. Kitchen to be finished next week after the washing. Flodai up walked here from the cemetery where she's had her paws, Charlie's and little Joseph's graves fixed up and covered with sods. I gave $2.50 towards paying for it. She pays the rest and for the watering. Sunday 9th. 10th. Snowed all day, in bed most of the day. Jen read me a sermon of Abram Cannon's and other things. Mon 10th. 11th. Stormy. My sitting room stove blacked and put up instead of being put in the cellar. Don't know how long this wintry weather will last. Whitewashing nearly finished. Also our washing done. Tuesday 11th. 12th. Jen's rag carpet sent home. I paid Mrs. Lambourne $5 for last week's work. Whether neither one thing or the other soul in to see me this eve. Said we would be able to work in the temple for some of Father's ancestors on his birthday. June 14th, and as many of his family and friends as wished to. Wednesday 12th. 13th. Snowed a little, a sick day for me. Helen and her 2 babies here afternoon. Mrs. Lambourne and Jenny made rag carpet, and Mrs. L put it down, charged nothing for today's work. Thursday 13th 14th snowing hard this morn, cleared off sunny and cloudy flowed. I came up afternoon and hen here to supper brought us strawberries by Flaud's request. Frank Talbot's come he and May called. She's been here most of the time. Friday 14th 15th felt worse. Helen with the two youngest boys came up and spent a while. A fellow came here twice and begged me to let him cut my lawn. Today I consented out of compassion, he telling me his condition a stranger, etc., etc. He and another fellow soon finished it to their satisfaction, but the cutter, he got at soles, was dull and the rake not fine enough, he said, when I criticized the work. I paid him 50 CTS, as he thought that about right. When I asked him what he charged, Dr. Rail came and operated on me, gave me a little bottle of fresh-made cough medicine. Saturday 15th 16th, poorly weather, cold soul and wife came in bringing the news, containing a letter to him from Bro Cummings headed, Ancestry of Heber C., Kimball, etc. Jen had just bought one, and she read it to us by Soul's request. It was of deep interest and shows the great work we have to do. Sunday 16th 17th stormed last night. Jen went to Tabernacle afternoon, Lily went to Helen's near night, Soul and wife here a while, Ed got home and Frank, and May here late meeting of the brothers for the first time for 8 years, today poorly one for me. Mon 17th 18th washing, and some cleaning done today. I feel miserable, have to lay down part of everyday cough, very troublesome. Jen got some strawberries. Tuesday 18th 19th rained this morn. Ed went to Bingham. Sleepy, though I sleep good nearly every night. This affliction hangs to me and my eyes are very weak. Wednesday 19th 20th about as usual. Last eve Sister Frances and Mary came to see us. Frank and wife were here as usual. Jen's health improving. We all went to Henty's. The day so lovely I had to lay down most of the time, so overcome with sleep, made me sick. Thursday 20th 21 th improved so, by going out. Yesterday sat up all day, and sewed a little, but had 2 or 3 spells of stagnation of my blood, one in the morn, and at eve had an awful one, while Mr. and Mrs. Pixley were here, which I seldom have nowadays. Friday 21st 22nd able to do a little work, finished fixing Jen's petticoat. Mary Jane and Bro Joshua came and spent a while, pleased to see them. Flodai came and stayed to supper. Frank and May here, a daily occurrence. Saturday 22 ND.23 RD late to sleep, and up too early in the morn. Day warm, sat out on the porch. Jen not very well. Lily came home yesterday. Mrs. Lambourne worked here yesterday, washed and did up my lace curtains, and did some cleaning, etc. Sunday 23 D 24th pain in head, taken cold. Better afternoon. Helen Violet here a while. Lily and I went to chapel, enjoyed the meeting. Soul, the second speaker, spoke the best I've heard him. Singing was very sweet. Jen locked the doors and closed the blinds against unwelcome visitors. Part of the day's been cloudy, but cleared up. Mon 24th 25th Jen sick from wakefulness and trouble of mind over the imposition that's thrust upon her. She went to Mrs. Pixley's this morning to escape the call of unbidden and unwelcome friends. One soon came but found her absent. Mother Horn came in to see me. She's very poorly. I watered my lawn, hose burst. Tuesday 25th 26th Father Horn watered my lawn, sun real hot. Wednesday 26th 27th feeling badly. Flowed I called, said she'd be up tomorrow to little Florence's 6th birthday. Was going to water and take flowers to Pa's, Charlie's and little Joseph's graves. Jen's making a dress for her Florence. Thursday 27th 28th my daughters met here with children. Jen made a cake with a dime in it and passed it to the children. Horace got it, said boasting, I shan't walk home now. They had a gay time with candy, nuts, etc. I felt very badly through the day. Finished and mailed a letter yesterday to Mary E. Bond. Sisters Almina Taylor and Sarah M. Kimball called on me. Were glad to meet once more. Friday 28th 29th a very sick day. Took breakfast in bed, but could sleep no more, so cold. Had a fire in my room and arose at noon. Lee went to spend a night at Hens to be there tomorrow. A storm is brewing. The awfulest tornado yet heard of swept through St. Louis and other towns, hundreds of human beings destroyed, and terror filled the living and the suffering beings who are injured. And hardly one but has met with losses of loved ones. Surely the words of the Lord are being fearfully fulfilled. 23. Saturday 30th, feeling better. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning all night, and lasted off and until afternoon. Ed got home near night. Lee came home too. An awful day for decorating graves. Sunday 31st. Sick day. Jen and Ed went to see Helen. Lily went to stay a day or two. No ward meetings this evening. Mon. June 1st. Washing done and my curtains put up by Mrs. Lambourne. I went to the state bank with Ed to see about my interest. As it's outlawed, he went to see Henry about assisting me. Borrowed $5 of Ed and traded at Coop. Went out mostly for my health. Nearly forgot my dear mother's natal day. Also President Brigham Young Flo die here afternoon. I feel very miserable. Tuesday 2nd. Arose late. Went to see dentist. Fred Clausen had impression taken of my undergum. Went to Margaret Clausen's. Found Phoebe there. Glad to meet each other. Thursday 3D 4th. Lily and I went to fast meeting. Paid my donation 75 CTS and tithing. Went down to Johnson's to get cough drops. Met Sister Freeze and Bro Cowan on the sidewalk. As I walked on, he drove up in carriage and offered to take me home. Gladly accepted. I'd taken cold at meeting. Wind blowing on me. Couldn't straighten my neck. Put oil and campfire on. Helped me. Friday 4th 5th. My pleurisy better from putting oil and campfire outside. Rainy weather. Went to dentist to have teeth and plate fitted. Sat so long. Took cold but took quinine once. And went to bed a while. Have a deathly spell nearly daily. Saturday 5th 6th. Felt so much stronger. Cleaned the parlor except dusting it. Jen did that. Lily felt so badly. I told her she could go to Helen's and stop a few days. When she was ready, Flodai came and she stayed till near night to visit. Her spirits were all right. I worked fixing silk dress. Grown so fleshy had made it uncomfortably tight for me. My eyes are worse using them so much. Sunday 6th 7th. Not feeling very well. Quite hot outdoors. Cough troubles me much. Take cold all the time. Mon 7th 8th. Hot day. Sick head ache for a change. While asleep this morn, Orson came, looked at me and sat down a while. When leaving, told Jen he'd come again with Zena after the funeral. He'd been sent for to preach the sermon at Ike Clayton's baby's funeral. 24. Tuesday 8th 9th. Feel better. Orson and Zine called hot day. Wednesday 9th 10th. Worse. We went to Hens though. She and Jen went to Law's, where the three were washed and anointed by Sister Piper. They felt greatly blessed. An addition is being built to George's house. Fred Clausen brought my teeth before we left home. Saturday 12th 13th. Weather hot, sick, and deathly spells harder than for a long time. Felt relieved of headache and went to Thauma's store. Ed taking me there. He got home about noon. Expected Flawed to meet me, but she failed to come after trading a little. Went to Pitt's drugstore for tincture of myrrh. Waited long for the car, and, while trying to catch it, a fearful spell of stagnation of my blood took me. Was afraid my sight would fail me before I got to the car, but was helped in and sat speechless, my head drooping for a time. Felt so death-like. I'd had a light one at the store. Lily got in the car on her way home from Helen's. 1 or 2 more awful spells took me after getting home. Sunday 13th 14th. Sick for sleep till near night. Attended watering the lawn. Jen and E. Went to Helen's. Helen, Violet, her mother, and Rita called. LOL. Rinder had a daughter born the night after being washed and anointed. Orson left an account book somewhere down here and wrote to Jen thinking T was here, but was mistaken. Mon 14th 15th. Slept little. Got a short nap today. Tried my new teeth. Do better than I expected. Hurt badly my gum. Watered lawn as usual. Mrs. Adams and daughter here at Eve when Flodai and Henry came. Mosquitoes bad. Had to come into the house. Henry wrote by my request a note to Heber Wells asking the privilege of looking over my papers or accounts, as I'm advised to have new arrangements made with the company that's held my interest this 5 years, although they've dealt honorably with me. Tuesday 15th 16th. Late to sleep, late to rise. The Gaslights are with us again, and the youngster also till late. About 11 a knock came to my door and an inquiry after my son O.F. by Arthur Stainer, who'd heard he was in town. I judge he was not, as we've heard nothing, only that he was coming this week. Mrs. Pixley and daughter left for their home to live with her sons in Washington Terrace. Called to bid us goodbye and wouldn't let me be awakened. They've been very pleasant neighbors. Thursday 16th 18th. Still poorly. Jen with Florence went calling. Found Floaty'd gone out. Went to Helen's and other places. Ordered me medicine at Druel and Franklin. Friday 17th 19th. Orson and his Helen called. Was taking breakfast at noon. Had lain trying to regain lost sleep yesterday. Dr. Rail called. I paid him $4. Took only the magnetic from him. Have taken cold and rheumatism in left shoulder. Went by invitation from Sister Spencer to meet her and others on her mother's H.T. King birthday held at my Orson's house, now rented by young Spencer. Saturday, 18th 20th. Orson and Helen Mar came as I was eating breakfast. 11 o'clock. Spent a while longer this time. Said he visited Helen and George last evening and also Lily, who went there yesterday while I was away as Jen was willing my grass was cut by Will Adams today. My rheumatism cured with camphire and oil. Sunday, 19th 21st. A hot day flowed. I and Hen came last eve. I was nearly undressed. Flawed said she felt that she must come and see how I was. Jen, with Florence and me, went to chapel, heard a splendid sermon by Bro Roberts. House crowded. He and George Piper go on missions to the States in a few days. Clarky Whitney came today to invite us to his wedding reception next Saturday. Henry Dinwiddie preached at Tabernacle, Mon 20th 22nd. Took cold going to meeting, etc. Cough bad. By an effort did some work afternoon fixing window curtains and watered lawn as usual. Tuesday 21/23rd. Felt freer from sleepiness. Did some working in my path and round rose bushes and put fresh dirt around them by Helen Kimball fetching it to me. Was overdone by it. Florence Dinwiddie here this afternoon. Roy Decker brought Jen and me tickets to concert next Friday from Bud. People had shown such generosity they could afford it. Wednesday 22nd 24th. More poorly. Jen putting up strawberries. My Helen and baby Jeannie here. Said Lily had headache and palpitation of heart. Clouds daily, but no rain here. Thursday 23d 25th. Sickest day. Took asafoetida to make me sleep earlier. It only made me sleepier today. Took a pill last night. Felt so miserable. Jen working hard putting up more strawberries. Friday 24th 26th. Head sick and also body till near night. I went to Coop to get Lily corsets and lawn waist and myself a petticoat. Lily had a present of a white waist afterwards from Mrs. P. Jen overdone putting up berries. Saturday 25th 27th. Felt badly all day. Tired out, but rested in time to dress for the wedding. Lily and Jen and Florence went. Jen made Florence a white lawn dress. After 11 o'clock we had a pleasant time. Came back at 12. Sunday 31st 28th. Laid in bed till able to rise at 11 o'clock. Attended evening meeting. Also Lily, Jen, and Florence. Young Elder Shuttler, just home from a German mission, preached. Then George Piper spoke real good. His farewell soon to leave on a mission. The martyrdom of Joseph and Hiram Smith was yesterday held in remembrance. Wednesday, July 1st. Orson 40 years old this evening. I've worked on my dress. Jen's watered the lawn every morning and some at evening with my assistants. She went to town, engaged a box of strawberries at tithing store. She and Lily prepared them for putting up. I received an invitation PR Zena Hyde to a surprise on Thursday on Sister Alder at 3 o'clock. Will improve it. At 12 o'clock last night we were serenaded by George Piper and others singing a charming song. I was awake. Jen came to see if we were. I laid awake 4 hours, got a little sleep after daybreak, and Jen was also wakeful. Lily's heart's badly affected. Thursday 2nd. The celebration of the Battle of Bunker Hill has been going on this month with guns, crackers, etc. till the 4th. Will be no rarity. Ed and Lee got home today, brought a squell that was caught by Lee's trap. His pa fixed for him at the mine. Girls went to town to Witten's carnival. Lily went home with hentai. I went only to fast meeting, paid tithes and donations for Jen and me. After this, with the confirming some children meeting was dismissed. It was a disappointment to me as I didn't care to go to the carnival at 5 Sister Cobb, and I went to a surprise picnic on Sister Alder. After refreshments a meeting was held, and we felt the influence of the Holy Spirit. Friday 3D. Ed and family went to Saltaire. Emily and Helen Mar Whitney here a few minutes. Said their pa, Orson, was in town. Sat the 4th. Orson came in the morning and invited me to go with him where he'd find me a place to view the carnival. I was glad as I intended going at any rate, so left the rest and was taken and seated in a soft chair in Brother Charles Stainer's office, which I enjoyed immensely. Coming home the car was packed inside and out. Orson had taken me into drugstore to treat us with a refreshing drink and the car came. He got off on First Street after paying our bill, was well paid in what was seen, etc. Enjoyed the bands, especially the Indian band, but tired out completely. Sunday 5th. Used up. 2 of Bro Abe Kimball's daughters came to see us. Ed invited us all to ride to the Liberty Park. I went to chapel. The wind blew up an awful dust glad. I went to meeting 3 speakers, among them young Elder Kessler, just from off his mission. He and Henry Dinwoodie labored together near London. He spoke very interesting, and after meeting I sought an introduction. Brigham, the apostle, spoke after him and another brother. Mon 6th ed left for Bingham this noon. Dr. Doggy came this morning bringing Harriet S. Kimball in his buggy, wanted her to be up higher, it being healthier. She's in a very bad state then in flesh, and he's to doctor her. She wants to go to Rosalia's out of town to stop. She left $5 with me donation towards the genealogy of father's ancestors that's coming out soon. Flodi came this afternoon. Henry left for the East Saturday evening. I'm feeling very poorly. Tuesday 7th. Feeling miserable. Harriet left this afternoon. Jen going with her to get a man to take her to her place of destination. Watered lawn at eve. Wednesday 8th. Ed home again on Bucenas. Flodi here. She watered part of the lawn. I finished it after she left, gave her $1 to get stockings to save my going out in the heat, had some deathly spells. Thursday 9th. The best day I've enjoyed this long time. Read some of my husband's journals at our winter quarters, etc. Deeply interesting to me. Sat up till eve after beginning to water lawn. This tired me out quickly. Jen's making her a lawn skirt with 2 ruffles. Friday 10th. Not so well. Read too much yesterday. Near night wet my lace curtains and pinned them onto the floor, the hardest job I've done. Mrs. Lambourne had done them on the clothesline with the rest, and they were ironed out of shape when rested. Watered the lawn. Big crackers were fired downtown for some time. Saturday 11th. Very hot weather. Heard what sounded like a cannon last night. To wind up, it was powder that the enthusiastic man threw in to make his crackers go off quicker, and his face was powdered black, etc. For his folly. Flowed. I wrote to Jenny and sent her and Lily some things. Sunday 12th. Another hot day. Jen read the news to me. She and Lily went to evening meeting. I stayed with Florence. A wind and slight rain started up as they went, but was over very soon. Hentai and her Genevieve came at dusk. Will Calder, Alice and daughter brought them in their carriage, and little Florence cried to go home with them till Jen let her go. Hent goes to Garfield wed, and wants Lil to stay with her children. Mon 13th. A thunderstorm commenced this morning and continued at intervals till afternoon. Very welcome to settle the dust and cool the air. It's been brewing, having clouded up for many days. Raining only in the mountains, this being Old Lady Horn's 78th birthday. Jen made some nice pancakes for her and the old man's breakfast. They enjoyed them. He's been real sick. Both are old and feeble, and whichever outlives the other will mourn, especially him. I think he's nearly deaf and can't read, and has depended on her, and she's nearly blind. He does most of their housework. Both are as neat as wax about their place. Flowed. I called, wants me to accompany her to Logan Wednesday. Jen urged me to go. Think I will. Mother Horn brought me a few raspberries. My appetite is not what it should be. Tuesday, July 14th. Feel badly. The want of sleep. Went with Jen to bank and drew $15 to Coop for goods, etc. A dress to take to Logan tomorrow to be made there. Flawed, insisting upon my going and get my work done up there. Some underwear also packed. Villiers. Another thunderstorm this afternoon shakes my glass in south window. Lily went to Helen's to stop with part of her children tomorrow while she goes to Garfield with others. She came up at eve to see me and bring me the herb tea I sent for by Lily. Wednesday 15th. Slept very little. Up before 6. Flowed. I called in hack and we started for depot at 7 o'clock. Enjoyed the trip to Logan, though tired and hungry when halfway here. A hearty welcome greeted us. Bid Young's wife and 2 little girls here. Flawed took a walk at eve with Orson, after singing a number of songs that were much enjoyed. I feel better than I expected. Sister Anna called at eve not knowing we were here. We're pleased to meet. Thursday 16th. Not as well as yesterday. Lack of sleep. Bid's family went home today. Another storm brewing. Sunday 17th 19th. No improvement. Awful headache from a cold. Race went for quinine, which helped me. Bro, Newell came to see us, invited us to ride at eve. He came with his wife. All this was enjoyed with seeing the beautiful city. Flowed. I.O.F. and Zena spent the evening out. Flawed had been out and enjoyed herself very much. Orson went to a neighboring town to preach today. Laura Minor and Zena Hyde called to see me while out. Mon 20th. Had a dressmaker here to take my measure to make my dress, brought with me from S.L. City which obliged me to rise or I'd have been better off in bed flowed. I couldn't sleep as much as I did. Faye Whitney arrived this morning with a friend from Brigham City. Orson is going to try to have floods and my tickets extended. They want us to stop this week. He'll go to SL. Friday to Abram Cannon's funeral. I undressed and went to bed afternoon, but couldn't sleep, felt quite sick. Tuesday 21st. My dress came so I could wear it. The making cost only $1.25. Spent most of the day on bed or lounge, head and stomachy disordered. Felt better towards night. A letter came from Jenny. They've had heavy rains, are all well. Wednesday 22nd. Newell Kimball sent his carriage for us after noon. Joseph Kim's wife was there. He and Orson came near Eve, had a pleasant time. A storm in the evening, but was over, so we came home at 9 o'clock. Thursday 23d. Felt better, did a little work and some reading. Interested in Whitney genealogy as all but me were gone out the most of the day. Friday the 24th. Better in body, read considerable in Whitney genealogy and Poets of America. Orson's left for Salt Lake. Got a letter from Jenny. All my family's well. When she wrote 23d. Zena and flowed. I gone to make some calls. M. Piper, Lute Owen and others were here in the evening. Zine passed round some. Saturday 25th. My husband's birthday. Had he lived, he'd been 73. I've read more of the Whitney genealogy, surprised that my eyes have stood it, and thankful to feel so much better. We've had thunder and clouds, was quite cold for a while but no rain. Had to put on a thicker dress. Sunday 26th. Had pain in head this morn. Better after rising. Read some, but don't feel as well. Caught cold yesterday. A letter came from General. I wrote her a postal informing her that we'd be home tomorrow. Sister Anna Knox and Don Kimball's wife here this eve, and other callers came to see Flody. Mon 27th. Flody got a telegraph from Henry. He is to be home in a week. Orson wrote to Zena that he'd stay to Abraham Cannon's funeral, wanted Zine to come, and Clayton sent her passes to go and return. I felt worse from a cold and reading copied 10 verses before we left from a book of American authors and poets, Hungry Hearts by Mrs. Virginia France Brandon, Miss, 1838. They are well suited to my feelings. When arriving in Salt Lake, found a heavy rain had fallen. We took a hack. Zine got out at I. Clayton's. Found all well at home and glad to see us. Flody expects to stop here till Henry gets home. Tuesday 28th. Felt badly, head ached from a cold and too little sleep. Took quinine 1 dose and drowsed a little, felt relieved. Flody's cleaned my parlor and sitting room before going to get her hair championed. She and Zena did everything in their power for my comfort. While in Logan, etc. Zena's children are lovely. Per Byron had toothache Sunday and Mon. The first time he cried while we were there, as good as gold. We've had a shower here today. Wednesday 29th. Feeling poorly from loss of sleep. Henty and children spent the afternoon. Thursday 30th. Orson and Zena here a while. Flody's cleaned my east rooms, etc. Hen got home today from the east, took dinner here, and Flod went home with him. I shall miss her very much. I've felt sick all day, sick headache. Friday 31st. Sick day like yesterday, but went to conference with Lily at Eve. Was better before the close. Orson read the President's manifesto and made remarks in its favor. Josephine Taylor called the vote of the 18th Ward on this and the BP and all the Officers' Relief Society, etc. Then spoke a while. Henry and Florence came here today, Flawed to dress for meeting at Tabernacle, her trunk being here. Ed got home at Eve from the mine. 22nd. Sunday, August 2nd. Had thunder and lightning and a slight shower. Took cold coming from meeting and coughed in the night. Slept a little this forenoon, but not enough. That and the other made me sick and discouraged. 23d. Mon 3 or Tuesday 4. Another discouraging day. Ed left for the mine. Flody here. She and Jen went to make purchases. Jen got a dresser at Dinwoody's. I watered the lawn. 24th. Tuesday 4 or Wednesday 5. Orson brought his Emily last night to stop. They just returned from the lake. I arose late and found Flody here. My cough is very troublesome, and don't sleep enough. Am taking Ilix Pepsier to give me an appetite prescribed by Dr. Doggy. Lily was up numbers of times last night eating vegetables. Little Florence is the same yesterday. I forgot to mention her. Lily going to Dr. Doggy's with Flawed. He said she was better in some ways, but her heart was weaker. Prescribed Digitalis added to the former medicine. 25th. Thursday 6. Went to fast meeting with Lily, though feeling very sick, was administered to with other sisters. But I was one of the speakers, paid $1.50 tithing and 1.00 donation for the poor. Jen sent 50 CTS donation. She put on a bed comforter and tied it alone. I had to go to bed, so sick for sleep. But couldn't get to sleep. Friday 7th. Better except a headache, and that got easier afternoon. Flo die here to say goodbye, goes to Granite with Henry tomorrow. Helen Violet also here while watered the lawn as usual, weary of it. Saturday 8th. Slept better, though I coughed in the night. Jen went to town, got me medicine and a hand glass. Orson's Emily here while Mrs. Lambourne here, half a day cleaning the house. Sunday 9th. Feel tolerable. Jen read the newsletters and sermon to me. Golden here a while. Jane Simons came after dark to stay all night. Lily went to Helen's to stop a day or two. Mon 10th. Sleepy all day and not able to entertain my company or to sit up much. Miss Jonason's making a waste for Jen. Tuesday 11th. Went to Helen's and Jen followed, was not able to sit up, and had numbers of terrible spells of stagnation of blood. Lily came home with us. Wed 12th. Better, though slept but little. Jen, with children, gone to Farmington with the Ward Sunday School. Flo die here a while. She's been to Granite with Henry and family a few days. Cousin Janet's granddaughter came to see if we could tell her of a good place to work. She's from Santa Quinn. I had Lily go to my Helen's with her, who was glad to get her. Thursday 13th. Another hot day, but feel better in body. Flo die came early in the morning before I was up. Friday 14th. Florence spent the day. Ed got home, invited us all to go to Saltaire. I felt too badly to go, but after laying down some time got ready and we left on the 7 o'clock train. Felt better for going, and witnessing the pyrotechnic display was worth going for. Saturday 15th was better. Florence here, and Ed, Jen and Lee went to Saltaire near evening. Mrs. Lambourne cleaned our rooms, etc. Sunday 16th. Poorly all day for lack of sleep, had a shower near night. Lily spent the day at Helen's. Yesterday was her Helen's 11th birthday. I sent her a thimble and crochet hook by Lily. Hot day. Mon 17th. Poorly from the old cause. Florence here early before I was up. The rain fell near night. Ed left early for Bingham. Tuesday 18th. Had another rain. Flo die with us. She expects to go north with Henry tomorrow. Phoebe and Caroline Kimball paid me a visit yesterday. The weather so cold, changed my clothes. Though late to rise as usual, I'm suffering for sleep. Had to lay down much of the day as usual. Near night felt better and took the drapery off the parlor lounge. Turned it over and it looked nearly new. A hard task to fix on the cords and tie them, what I've wanted to get done for months, and I feel repaid for the work that I've not felt equal to before. Wednesday 19th. About the same, kept awake by coughing, etc. Day wound up with a heavy thunderstorm. Jen went down to the bank and to Drool and Franklin's for Lily's and my medicines this afternoon. She got some white flannel at tithing store and engaged some tomatoes, etc. Thursday 20th, rained considerable. I couldn't go to the Relief Society gathering at Saltaire as I intended. Sister Woodmancy sent me a complimentary ticket about noon, better late than never. I should gone anyhow if the day had been agreeable, had I not received the ticket. Friday 21st, miserable day. Helen here a little while my cough is troublesome. Saturday 22nd. My 68th birthday spent at my Helen's with my daughters, but not able to sit up much. Helen had bought a lovely bouquet to give me on my birthday. Little Helen wrote a sketch from my father's life to give me. Sunday 23d. Poorly laid down most of the time, roused myself and dressed for evening meeting. Lily, Jen and Lee went heard a practical and excellent sermon from Bro. Halo Day, and Orson spoke after him. Lee was not feeling well and Jenny was worried over him. Mon 24th, arose early as Orson came according to last eve's agreement, been abed most of the day, and slept a little this afternoon, but am poorly indeed. Tuesday 25th. A very sick day, headached from a cold, and all out of order. Helen and little Genevieve here. Lily went down there in the morning and spent the day. Jen gave me black ribbon and handgear. Wednesday 26th, spent mostly on the lounge, head better, but sick for sleep, etc. Mrs. Peyton invited Lily to go with her to the lake. Jen feels miserable today. Thursday 27th. The girls and families went to Garfield. I went to Ellen Clausen's funeral, though not feeling able to sit up. So sick couldn't enjoy anything said. Bro, Nicholson and Orson were the speakers. One hymn I enjoyed, Rest, Rest for the Weary Rest, etc. Brought Lucy Kimball home with me. Took a little refreshment and felt better. Folks home after dark. Had a pleasant time. Friday 28th. Sicker all day. Sister Cobb called at Eve. Ed got home near dark. Saturday 29th. Had a wretched time last night, and this morning indigestion gnawing at my stomachy. Stayed in bed till noon. Could hardly eat or drink my coffee. Felt so sick the raging bowel complaint took me again, and sleepiness, etc. made me sick all day. Cloudy and cool. Sunday 30th. Very sick on rising, and through the night had deathly spells, stomachy disordered, and cough bad. Jen, Ed and children went to Helen's near night. Cloudy somewhat. Mon 31st. Some better food tasted better. Took Asafoetida last eve to bring sleep. Tuesday, September 1st. Had a few drops of rain last eve, and lightning storm brewing. Weather cooled by the clouds and wind. Ed left for Bingham this morning. Tabernacle choir left yesterday morn for Denver. I looked over and read some papers. Wednesday 2nd. Had coughing spells through the night, and surprised that I'm feeling so well and free from sleepiness. The day pleasant and cool breeze. F.H. Auerbach of the city died yesterday at New York. His loss will be felt, and his charities to the poor, that were unbounded. Thursday 3D. Lily and I attended fast meeting, took cold sitting in draft, paid 75 CTS donation for the poor, took 50 CTS for Jenny. Lily went to Helen's from there, and I to Sister Wells. A hard walk for me. Were pleased to see me. May came with me to take the car at dusk. Florence and Henry got home Tuesday from the north. She called yesterday, was engaged to sing at a benefit last eve for an elder who goes on a mission. Friday 4th. Not so well, slept less. House cleaned by Mrs. Lambourne. Florence and Henry here at eve. Weather hot, watered the lawn after sundown as usual. Saturday 5th. Head ached from a cold, was poorly indeed. Hentai and Genevieve here a while. Sunday 6th. Had sick headache all day, relieved by quinine. Jen read a sermon of Bro Penrose's on the first principles. Lily went to Helen's, who, with George and children, brought her home at night in a carriage. Cloudy, but no rain here. Mon 7th. Felt so weak and prostrated in body and spirits, my faith in living nearly left me. Ed came home after noon today. Quarterly conference convened yesterday. Labor Day celebration at Saltaire Beach today. Tuesday 8th. Was driven up 3 or 4 times last night by the prevailing complaint. Nothing checked it, but paregoric today. Slept some this afternoon. Flodi came and spent a while. Weather growing cold. Had a short shower and thunder. Wednesday 9th. Cloudy and cold. Had a small fire in my stove afternoon. My head felt like it must burst this morn. Relieved some with 1 dose of quinine. I swept my room, and Lily dusted. Lou Barton called to invite Jen and me to her home tomorrow. She looked very miserable. Mrs. Adams came in and told us of her call on Mrs. Talbot in Denver. We were glad to hear it, and other scenes and incidents described we just heard. Last eve, that my dear friend Harriet S. Kimball died last Saturday at her home in Meadowvale. I'm very grateful that she's gone to her rest, and to her award, for she is worthy. Ed went back to Bingham today. Thursday 10th. Lily left for Helen's before I was up. Met Lou's son, with buggy, at the foot of State Street. 'Twas nearly noon. Had a long ride in going to Lou's place. Enjoyed it, though there was a cold wind. Several others were there, Flotty among them. There's a beautiful view from their nice place north of the boulevard and park. Friday 11th. Felt stronger. Put lining in my wrapper sleeves. Tired out, but had to water the lawn. Jen's making ketchup and canning pears. Had a fire in my stove this morning. Saturday 12th. Headached before rising. Lily dusted my room after I swept it. Had to lay on the lounge considerable afterwards. Weather mild and pleasant. Sunday 13th. Obliged to lay abed most of the day. Went to evening meeting. Also Lily. I felt better riding in the car, and glad I went to the meeting. Mon 14th. Felt stronger and did a little sewing. Florence was here a while. Jen is feeling poorly. Deathly spells are more frequent but lighter. Tuesday 15th. Somewhat cast down, not feeling so well. Spent most of the afternoon on the lounge. Slept a little. Sol had his north fence and mine whitewashed by one of his jailbirds. It cost me nothing. Wednesday 16th. Slept good and felt better than usual. Jen spent a miserable night. She's nervous and was fearful of consequences. Being alone as far as help's concerned, had callers afternoon bell pits found me a bed, but Iros Florence came to see how I was. Margaret P. Young called, and at Eve Orson came bringing some pears and grapes. I asked if this was the balm. He said yes, the balm of Gilead, confessed his conscience smote him for not coming sooner, and said he only came to tell me he would come tomorrow and make me a visit. He'd been very busy. One thing with the history of Utah, revising it preparatory to printing, etc. Ed came home at Eve is sick. Thursday 17th. Obliged to rise early, my head paining me, so wet it with cold water and bathed my face in it, relieved me. As it often does. Jen is greatly concerned over getting hired girl and nurse. She's not fit to work as she has to. Friday 18th. Comfortable till tired out, had to keep the lounge half the day. Ed went out yesterday after an awful night of chill and fever and bowel complaint, was obliged to go back, but returned at night, had a chill and high fever. Orson and May called in this eve. Flodi was here previously, the wind and dust blowing awfully. Saturday 19th. Had the worst wind ever experienced in these mountains all night and part of today. Great damage has been done in Ogden and other places, as well as in Salt Lake. Large trees torn up by the roots, etc., but only limbs, sprouts, and were torn from mine. Mrs. L. cleaned our rooms after noon. Window kills, and everywhere black dust lay thick this morning. O, F, and M called at Eve. He leaves town tomorrow. Dr. Dog called this morning to see Ed and found him gone to town to get medicine. He hurried thinking he'd meet him. He told me I wanted stimulus to get London Stout and it would strengthen me up, and also Ilix Pepsin, which I had ceased taking, to help my digestion. He listened to Lily's heart and said it beats regular now and stronger. Sunday 20th. Slept better. Ed's better. Morning pleasant, but clouds threatening. Afternoon it grew dark with thunder and lightning, a slight sprinkle only up here, but a harder one down below. Sun broke out and our streets are dry. Very aggravating. Lily went to chapel. A little shower prevented my going. Mon 21st. Weather calm and sunny. I went to Coop and bought a shoulder shawl, etc. Ed went to the DRs. From there I stagered when walking and was poorly enough and glad to come home. Helen was in the car on her way here when I got in. Tuesday 22nd. Slept good but awoke too early. Awful sleepy part of the day. Mr. Lambourne called to see about painting and quilting the centerpiece in my south room overhead. Florence and Sister Dinwiddie here. The afternoon we had some rain, but it cleared off too soon. Ed went out to Bingham this morn. Wednesday 23d. Slept well, but awoke before I'd slept enough. Felt worse than yesterday most of the day. Lambourne did the work today. Ed got home tonight on Bucina's, is no worse. Thursday 24th. My little Phoebe's birthday, had a bad night, coughing and deathly spells, etc. Suffered all day. May, with baby, came to see us. Lily suffers headache daily since her heart is better per girl. Lee and Florence enjoy going to school. Friday 25th. About as yesterday, had a little visit from May, and baby Orson has again started teaching in the B.Y. College at Logan. Began last Wednesday. Saturday 26th. Better. Lily and I cleaned my room. She did the most. Sunday 27th. Felt about the same. Intended to go to evening meeting, but was made sick by having an awful spasm while resting me to get ready, and soon another came on. Lily went to meeting in 20. Ward with Sister Peyton. She brought the news that Mr. Peyton fell dead Tuesday last in Logan. She wouldn't tell Lily. Forgot the visit sister of she who was Emma Evans MP and Sister Dobson. And my brother Charlie called in the evening. Jen read some to me from Herald and News. Read a sermon of John Henry Smith's in the afternoon. Golding Kimball was at Souls last eve and sent to me for the $1 I'd told him I had to donate towards paying for Father's cemetery being taken care of. Mon 28th. Felt quite weak and poorly from those deathly spells yesterday. And another today. Flodi sent me a note saying she'd been sick and unable to come up. Wants me, Jen, Lily, and children to come down there, and will send for us tomorrow if we'll go. I've watered my lawn. Got up at 8 this morning and took breakfast with folks. Lily's gone to Helen's to visit a day or two. Jen went to see her DR today for advice. Tuesday 29th. Carriage came at 11. Jen nor any but me went. Was so weak couldn't walk alone. Flodi had to help me into the house. Laid on the lounge most of the afternoon. Flodi's been very sick with gas on the stomache, but is over it. She and her mother-in-law rode home with me by my wishing to see bro. Moses Thatcher's new home. After being offered a ride, we rode over and around that block, etc. Wednesday 30th, Jen and children gone to Henty's Brady's birthday. I felt too tired and sleepy, but sent a dime with lovely wanted me to go so badly he pleaded with me to. And when his mother with eyes filling with tears telling her how badly he hated me to stay alone. Those spells come on me occasionally, night and day, making me very weak. I had a call from Marian, my niece. Watered my lawn laying down most of the day, felt better towards night. Near night Ludi came over with Deck's baby. Thursday, October 1st, Jen and I went to fast meeting, paid our donations, and I my tithing, but very few of the ward were there bro. Patrick believed in short meetings 1.5 hours long enough, and trained us upon prolonging it by sitting until near the close when they were ready to speak, etc. This started them so 2 or more rows at once. I think more would spoken, but bro P told bro Shuttler that he could receive the donations now. Just previous I felt the spirit of speaking and wasn't going to be deprived of the blessing, and rose to his surprise I think and spoke. A few told me how they enjoyed what I said. I never did took such a liberty before bro P had said he got an engagement that must be filled at 11 or thereabouts, and the meeting was closed 30 minutes or so before 12. I did not think, like bro P expressed it, that 2 hours was too long to hold meeting when so much time is taken up confirming children, etc., and blessing the numbers of babies that are brought there each fast day. From there I went hence. I felt the strongest that I have for some time. Friday 2nd. Stronger, although obliged to lay down some. London Punch is helping me. I felt better yesterday. Mr. Peyton was found in bed dying alone. Saturday 3D. Had Mrs. Lambourne do the cleaning of our rooms. The Today conference begins. Watered my lawn. Sunday 4th. Not a soul has been here. Lily's been to conference afternoon. Crowded, and she couldn't hear for the squealing children, etc. Jen read a little to me. Mon 5th. Nothing much transpired. I feel stronger forenoons, but tired out and sleepy afternoon. Up for breakfast or soon after. Sleep better. Have taken nothing for 2 weeks to help me sleep. Orson and Zine called at Eve. I felt the slight of her being so near us as Mr. Clayton's, with little Byron well onto a week without coming to see us or bring Byron. Tuesday 6th. Near night Byron was here with Clayton's nurse girl. Hentai and family were here the afternoon. I failed to mention Orson's reading minutes of Mon's conference to us. Very interesting. I can feel no faith for Brother Thatcher's relenting, though he has the prayers of the saints. He's stood out too long and lost his foothold. Very lamentable such things are. Wednesday 7th. Felt comfortable till doing a little work. Had to keep the lounge the afternoon. Caroline Kimball's mother called on me. Flowed I also, and sewed a while for me. Thursday 8th. Felt better, though wakeful part of the night. Sat up more today, and sewed a little on my wrapper. Jen went to town on business. Friday 9th. Received a note from Flowdi to ask me, Lily and Jenny to meet her at the drugstore of Smith's, where we'd decide upon our course. Lily and I met her, and I had my choice to ride in a hack or in the car to Camp Douglas. Chose the latter. Enjoyed it, but when the arriving there was stairs that I was not equal to climb with Flowdi's help and a brother, who offered his arm, I very easily went up. The soldiers were preparing to take leave tomorrow, their place to be filled by colored ones. We returned on another train. On this car met bro John Mabin and wife. Waited in Smith's drugstore till we took our car. Bought some indelible ink. Saturday 10th. My eyes worse and head painful. Mrs. L cleaned our rooms. Sunday 11th. About as usual, Jen read me a sermon of President Woodruff's at Con, and others. Lily went to evening meeting, heard Henry Dinn and Golden Kimball speak. Flowed I was there. Weather growing cold. Nights and winters coming on. Mon 12. Pleasant. My head is better, but eyes bad indeed. Lovely day but cold. Tuesday 13th. Yesterday Flowed I called and invited me to ride with Mrs. Everard, just arrived from London. Sister Dinwoody, Flo Clausen, and herself. The outfit was the finest, and we saw many of the richest residences and grand public houses, etc. She was pleased with all she saw. Said she came here expecting to be pleased. Lily went to Helen's this morn. Ed came home to vote today. Florence sent me a note, wanted me to send her my robe, garment, etc. is to go tomorrow with Sister Dinwiddie to work for her in the temple. Wednesday 14th. Suffered yesterday and today with gravel. Free from it all night, but came on as I got up makes me sick, began having deathly spells. Jen has not had but a little sleep this 2 nights, so nervous and fretted about our cesspools being cleaned it had affected me similarly. Ed's engaged men for the job. He went back to Bingham this morning. Thursday 15th, suffered another day and had some things to do, cleaning my chest, moths having got into some things, and then sweeping my room, increasing the pain, had to lay down often. Jen dusted it for me. Afternoon, M. Piper, Male Whitney, Lute Owen, my Helen and May Whitney with her. Murray called. Helen came first, and May after the others had gone. It never rains but it pours. We told them I'd got well rested before they came. Friday 16th, feel weak and poorly, from effects of gravel and bad spells, but am relieved of pain. Flowed I came, said she'd been very sick from a cold taken in the temple, and is still feeling it. She spent the afternoon sewing lace on my pillowcase. Saturday 17th. Mrs. L. cleaned all our rooms. Was surprised to find Orson had slept here Friday night, coming at 11 after we were abed. He stops here tonight, has worked Saturdays revising history of Utah, working hard and no pay of course. Suffers with insomnia. Sunday 18th, Orson went north this morning. Lily sick all night and today can't eat. Head pained her this 2 days near night. Jen went to see Dr. Doggy. We fear the worst, he said to give quinine tonight and hot lemonade and hot foot bath. Which we did, seems better this eve, and ate a trifle with a drink of milk. Mon 19th. Work digging for cesspool has started, much needless work done before finding it that, and vault is to be cleaned tonight. May was up yesterday to get the history to take to juvenile. Today Murray came and brought me some beautiful flowers. I was miserable afternoon. Tuesday 20th. Warm weather. One of the outhouses moved to the southwest corner of my yard. Holes filled partly and must wait for a new pipe, and cesspool to be dug farther away and stoned up. I paid F. Larson $10 for what is done, and he said he'd wait on us a while for the rest, and do the job cheaper than would James, Spencer, etc. Company flowed I here a short time, not very well. She brought me some water. I feel tired out and sleepy too, like yesterday, and my eyes are very bad. Also my cough. Lily feels real smart. Wednesday 21. Cloudy. I coughed much last night, head painful down my neck, took quinine. The next day I was laid up, an awful sick day. I couldn't talk right after one word, all was mud-led. I'd been out to the privy with assistance of Mrs. Lambourne, took more cold the folks thought. January 27th, 1897. Ma was sick from the day she was stricken. October 22nd, and was groaning, shaking, and with pleurisy, which I helped by applying whiskey and red pepper on flannels. She remained in bed the greater part of the time, not dressing at all anymore. I went to vote November 3rd. Baby was born on the 4th, and Dr. Flawed and Ed all arrived at once at 4:10. Ma having been alone most of the day, Miss Nelson in the house. I was quite sick, but was soon over. Baby born at 4:20, so it kept him working to be ready to take her. Night before last I dreamed of Ma, and that she asked me to keep a diary too. I assured her that I knew I'd never stick to it, however I feel like trying, and so I make a starter. Hent was here yesterday. I've just answered a letter of M.E. Bonds to Ma, written and received since her death. Ed at his lodge tonight. Lily at Hent's children in bed, and I must retire as 'tis nearly 10. From Orson F. Whitney's Journals. Sunday, November 15th. 1896. My mother, Helen Mar Kimball Whitney, died at her home in Salt Lake City today at 10 minutes past 2 p.m. I was present, having gone from Logan the Tuesday evening before to see her. December 22nd, 1896. Met this evening at my mother's place, 285C, St. Salt Lake City, to talk over her affairs with my sisters, Lily, Jenny, Helen, and Florence. Ma died leaving to us 5 her house and lot, and a note for $4,000 given by the Deseret Investment Company. Drawing interest from date __________ at the rate of line blank $850 of the principal was paid ________ cents, which times $63 per quarter has been collected as interest. The girls authorized me to act as agent for the heirs of Helen Mar Whitney for the time being and endeavor to collect the amount of the note $3,150. This note, endorsed by myself and my 4 sisters. I placed with C.S. Burton at the State Bank of Utah Deck 23/96 for collection, and took possession of a check for $63, the last quarter interest, as agent of said heirs.